You know what separates the winners from the losers. Action, that's it. Not talent, not luck, not good intentions, just raw, consistent, unapologetic action. Most people walk around thinking they've got potential, but potential without action is nothing more than a fantasy. And the harsh truth is, the world doesn't reward your dreams. It rewards your discipline. It rewards what you do, not what you wish for. That's why most people stay exactly where they are. They want the results of a lion while moving like a sheep. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel good. You don't need a perfect plan. That's where people go wrong. They waste years trying to design the perfect strategy while someone else is out there executing with a half-decent plan and beating them to every opportunity. The guy who's willing to show up and grind every day, even when he doesn't want to, is always going to destroy the guy who waits for motivation. Action beats hesitation every time. Every morning when you wake up, you're presented with two options: stay in the comfort of your bed or rise and conquer your day. And every single time you choose the pillow, you're reinforcing weakness. Every time you hit snooze, you're telling your body, your mind, and your destiny that you're not serious. You're saying, "I'll try again tomorrow." But tomorrow never comes for most people. They say it every day until they're old, broken, and filled with regret. You want to know why you're stuck? Because you keep waiting. You're waiting for the right time, the right energy, the right vibe, but life doesn't wait. Time doesn't wait. The world doesn't pause for your feelings. It doesn't care how tired you are, how broken you feel, or what excuses you've collected over the years. It moves on, and if you're not moving with it, you're falling behind. Let's be honest, most people are soft. They've been coddled their whole lives. They were told that life is supposed to be fair, that it's okay to rest when things get hard, that it's noble to quit when it gets too overwhelming. But those people never win. They never build anything. They're the background noise in the lives of the ones who actually took responsibility and went after what they wanted. You either get stronger or you get left behind. Pain is a part of the process. Struggle is the currency of achievement. You don't get success for free. You pay for it with effort, with discipline, with sacrifice. The sooner you accept that, the faster you'll move, but the world has lied to you. It's convinced you that it should be easy, that if it's meant for you, it will just come. That's a trap. That's how they keep you weak, dependent, and distracted. They sell you comfort, entertainment, distractions. Anything to keep you docile and out of the game. But deep down, you know the truth. You know you're capable of more. You know you're not living at your full potential. You can feel it every time you waste a day doing nothing. Every time you promise yourself you'll start tomorrow, and then break that promise again. That guilt, that discomfort in your chest, that's your potential screaming at you. It's trying to wake you up, and if you ignore it long enough, it dies. That's when people become numb. That's when they give up and settle for average. They stop feeling the pain of underachievement because they've accepted it as their identity. You need to kill that version of you, the version that accepts less, the version that tolerates mediocrity, the version that makes excuses and plays the victim. He has to die, because that version is the only thing standing between you and the life you say you want. The person you want to be is already inside you. But he's buried under layers of laziness, fear, and doubt. Every day you wake up and get it done, even when you don't feel like it. You dig him out a little more. You get one step closer to unlocking that unstoppable version of you. Forget motivation. Forget inspiration. Those are temporary. They're unreliable. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving when your emotions say stop. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when your body says just 5 more minutes. Discipline is what builds the empire when motivation disappears, and it will disappear. That's why you can't rely on it. If you're only working when you're motivated, you're not going anywhere, you're just playing. You need to decide that your goals are non-negotiable, that your purpose is more important than your feelings, that your future is worth more than your excuses. Because the truth is, the clock is ticking. Time is your enemy if you don't use it. Every day you waste is a day closer to death. That's not dramatic, that's reality, and the people who succeed are the ones who feel that urgency and use it to light a fire under everything they do. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to move. Take the first step, then take another, and keep going. That momentum will build, and one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come simply because you refuse to sit still. Most people don't even start. They're too afraid of failure, of judgment, of discomfort. And in that fear, they stay frozen, paralyzed, irrelevant. You want to win, then move now, not next week. Not next year, now. Do something that moves you forward today, and then do it again tomorrow. Stack those wins. Stack that progress, because nothing great is built in a day. It's built in the grind, in the repetition. In the boring, unglamorous work that no one sees. That's where champions are made. The truth is, life doesn't care how hard your past was. It doesn't care what you've been through. It doesn't care what you didn't get. All that matters is what you do from this point forward. You can use your past as an excuse, or you can use it as fuel. You can let it define you, or you can let it sharpen you. But don't expect sympathy from the world. It owes you nothing, and it will give you nothing, unless you earn it. So when the voice in your head tells you to rest, to slow down, to skip today, you fight back. You override that weakness with action. That voice is your enemy. It wants to keep you average. It wants to keep you small. You've got to kill it with discipline. You've got to drown it with execution. You've got to suffocate it with your hustle. Because there are only two options. Either you become the man who gets it done, no matter what, or you stay stuck as the man who almost did. The man who had potential but wasted it. The man who dreamed but never moved. That's the harsh truth. You don't get credit for trying. You don't get trophies for effort. You get results or you get regret. And regret is the most poisonous thing in the world. It eats you alive from the inside out. You see it in the eyes of the people who gave up. The people who chose comfort over purpose. The people who quit on themselves. You don't want to be them. You don't want to grow old and look back at your life and see missed chances, wasted years, and dreams that died because you were too lazy to fight for them. Every time you say, "not today," you're training your mind to be weak. You're building a habit of quitting, but every time you say, "I'm doing it anyway," you're building a mindset that can't be broken. That's what separates the elite from the average, that mindset, that refusal to stay down, that hunger to push no matter what. You need to develop a personal code, a set of non-negotiables, a standard, something that governs your behavior no matter how you feel. Maybe it's waking up at 5 a.m. Maybe it's training every single day. Maybe it's reading, building, working on your business, honing your craft. Whatever it is, lock it in, make it law, and never break it. That's how you earn self-respect. That's how you build power, not by talking, not by wishing, but by doing. The world is full of people who talk, people who post quotes, share goals, make plans, but never execute. You don't want to be one of them. You want to be a man who moves, a man who doesn't wait for the stars to align before he acts, a man who knows that action creates clarity, that movement creates momentum, that progress creates power. And once you understand that, nothing can stop you, because the moment you stop relying on emotion and start operating from discipline, you become dangerous. You become a threat to every excuse you ever had. You become the kind of person who gets results while everyone else complains, the kind of person who makes it happen, no matter what. So forget the noise, forget the distractions, forget the opinions. Just do the work. Build your future in silence, and when the results come, let them make the noise. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify your grind. Just get up and get it done. Every single day, without fail, without excuse, without compromise. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you build a life worth living. What happens if you don't do it today? What happens if you skip one day, push things to tomorrow, delay the action you were supposed to take right now? Nothing. That's the trap. You skip a workout, skip the cold shower, skip the reading, skip the grind, and nothing happens. The sky doesn't fall. Nobody yells at you. The pain isn't instant, but that silence, that smooth, empty consequence-free silence, is exactly how weakness gets built. That silence becomes your prison, because nothing is exactly what you get when you keep putting off action. You think you've got time. You think it's harmless to relax today and work harder tomorrow. But all you're doing is training yourself to accept mediocrity, to tolerate weakness, to make peace with failure long before it slaps you in the face. The man who rises and works every day is not special. He's not made of different material than you. He simply decided that his excuses weren't valid anymore. He made a decision. one that most men never make: to stop negotiating with his feelings. He doesn't care if he's tired, if he's not in the mood, if he's got problems. He executes, and that's what makes him powerful. Power comes from consistency, not intensity. You don't need a heroic effort once a month. You need a relentless effort every single day. That's what wins. That's what builds a legacy. That's what separates men from boys. People love to talk. They love to plan, dream, visualize, but talk is cheap. You don't earn anything by dreaming. You don't level up by thinking about it. You level up by sweating for it, bleeding for it, sacrificing for it. Every day you don't act, you're choosing to stay where you are. And if where you are isn't good enough, then you need to move. You need to act like your life depends on it, because it does. You either control your life or your life controls you. You either lead yourself or become a victim to your own laziness. The truth is, nobody's coming to save you. No one's going to force you to get up and grind. No one's going to hand you discipline on a silver plate. That's your job. That's your responsibility. People will pat you on the back for trying, for showing up once or twice, for making a little bit of effort, but the universe doesn't reward effort. It rewards results, and results come from obsession, not participation. It's not enough to dip your toes in. You've got to dive in fully, burn the boats, and go all in. You're going to have to become a machine, cold, ruthless, relentless, not because you hate people or hate life, but because you love your vision so much that anything less than total execution feels like betrayal. You need to become the kind of person who gets it done, regardless of weather, mood, pain, or pleasure. You need to eliminate the idea that your emotions have any say in whether or not you do the work. They don't. They never did. That was the illusion. That was the weakness you were trained to believe. The winners of the world aren't the ones who had perfect lives. They're not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who decided that nothing would stop them. They turned pain into fuel. They turned doubt into a weapon. They turned fear into motivation. Every challenge, every setback, every bad day, they used it. They absorbed it. They got stronger because of it. You can do the same, but first, you've got to stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you'll start next week. Stop pretending you need more time. Stop hiding behind busy work and face the truth. If you wanted it badly enough, you'd already be doing it. You want to know who you are. Look at your routine. That's you, not your goals, not your dreams. Your routine is your reality. That's the difference between what you say and what you believe. If you say you want to be a savage but wake up at 10 a.m. and spend half the day scrolling, you don't want it. You want the idea of it, and the idea will never bring you results. Only the discipline does. Only the grind, the habits, the consistency. That's where the rewards live. You don't need a break. You don't need rest. You need momentum, and momentum only comes when you keep moving, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. The pain is the point. It's the cost. Most people don't want to pay. They want the success story, the respect, the money, the body, the power. But they don't want to pay the price. And life doesn't negotiate. It demands payment in full upfront. There are no shortcuts, no handouts. Just the brutal truth that everything you want lies on the other side of your discipline. There's a voice inside your head right now trying to make excuses. It's trying to justify skipping the work. It's telling you you're tired, that you've done enough, that it's okay to ease off. That voice is the enemy. That voice is your weakness, dressed in comfort. And every time you listen to it, it gets stronger. But every time you crush it with action, every time you get up and do the work anyway, you starve it. You weaken it. You kill it, slowly but surely. And eventually, your discipline becomes louder than your doubt. Your hunger becomes louder than your fear. That's when you become unstoppable. You have to start moving like your future is on fire, because it is. Every day you waste is a brick missing from the empire you could have built. Every moment you spend in hesitation is momentum lost. You're not competing with the guy next door. You're not competing with your coworkers. You're competing with the best version of yourself. The one that's out there grinding in the shadows, waiting to be realized. And the only way to reach him is through blood, sweat, and relentless action. No more talking about what you're going to do. No more promises. No more wishing. From this moment forward, you become a man of execution. A man of results. You do the work even if no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. Because that's when it counts. That's when you prove to yourself that you're not a slave to your comfort. That's when you separate from the masses, the weak, the lazy, the entitled. And it's not about working 24/7 until you burn out. It's about locking in your non-negotiables and doing them every single day, no matter what. It's about cutting the distractions, eliminating the time wasters, being surgical with your focus. You treat your time like it's sacred because it is. Time is the one resource you can't buy, you can't replace, and you can't get back. And you've already wasted enough of it. No more. That ends now. Your job is simple. Wake up, execute, improve, repeat. That's the formula. No magic, no secrets, just ruthless consistency. Stack wins daily even if they're small. A cold shower, a workout, a book, a task completed. Stack them day after day. That stack becomes confidence. That confidence becomes momentum. That momentum becomes results. And those results become your new standard. But none of it happens if you don't start. None of it happens if you don't commit. None of it happens if you keep playing around like this is a game. It's not. This is your life, your one shot, and you're either using it or wasting it. Every action you take is a vote for the man you're becoming. So who are you becoming? Someone who moves or someone who watches? Someone who conquers or someone who hesitates? You have to understand, discipline is freedom. The more disciplined you are, the freer you become. You're not controlled by impulses. You're not dragged around by emotions. You move with purpose. You live with control. You build a life on your own terms, brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day, and that freedom earned, not given, is the greatest reward of all. It's not too late. But it will be if you don't act now. The clock is ticking. Every second you wait is a second lost forever. You can never get it back, but you can choose to stop wasting them. You can decide right now that you're done being average, that you're done coasting, that you're done being a spectator in your own life, that you're done apologizing for your ambition, hiding your hunger, numbing your discipline, because in the end, it's not about how much you want it. Everyone wants it. It's about how much you're willing to suffer for it, how much pain you're willing to endure, how many sacrifices you're willing to make. Are you willing to bleed for it? Are you willing to die to your old self to become something greater? That's the question, and the answer shows up in your actions, not your words. So if you're tired of being tired, move. If you're sick of being stuck, grind. If you're fed up with your own excuses, destroy them. With action, with consistency, with discipline, stop waiting, stop hesitating. Stop making peace with a version of yourself that you know you were never meant to be. The world will not hand you anything. You have to take it, you have to earn it, you have to become the kind of person who deserves it, and the only way to do that is to get up and get it done, every damn day, no matter what, so now you know. The difference between who you are and who you could be is one thing. Execution. You don't need more time. You don't need more chances. You don't need motivation. You need to move, get up, and get it done. Not tomorrow, not when it's easy, now. Because every excuse you make is a brick in the wall that traps you in weakness. And every action you take is a hammer that breaks you free. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand it to you. You either rise and take what's yours, or stay on your knees and beg life for scraps. Be the one who rises. Be the one who gets it done.